In a quiet neighborhood on the edge of the city lived Salma, a woman in her 30s. She wasn't just beautiful by appearance, her laugh was her real charm. It was contagious, lighting up any room and soothing even the heaviest of hearts. Everyone who knew her loved her, and anyone who heard her laugh couldn't help but smile. Salma was full of life, finding joy in the simplest things. From funny incidents in the street to random conversations with her neighbors, she always found something to laugh about. Yet, behind her cheerful exterior, there was an unspoken emptiness. Every night, when the world went quiet, Salma would sit on her balcony, gaze at the stars, and feel as though she was searching for something she couldn't name. One evening, as she sipped her usual cup of coffee, her eyes drifted to the abandoned house across the street. The house had been empty for years, its windows dusty and its garden overgrown. It felt like it belonged to the neighborhood yet didn't. That night, something was different. A light flickered in one of the windows. Salma squinted, thinking she was imagining things, but then it happened again. The light turned on, then off. The next day, she asked her neighbors about it. Everyone gave her the same response. "That house is haunted, Salma. Stay away from it." The neighbors spoke of eerie sounds and strange occurrences, but Salma wasn't the type to believe in ghost stories. Instead of fear, her curiosity grew. The following night, while watching her favorite comedy show, Salma heard faint sounds. At first, she thought it was coming from her TV, but then she realized it was laughter. Quiet, muffled laughter, coming from the direction of the abandoned house. She froze for a moment, her heart racing. Maybe it's just kids playing around, she thought, trying to calm herself. But deep down, she knew it was something else. By the third night, she couldn't take it anymore. She decided she had to find out what was happening inside that house. When the evening came, Salma put on her coat, grabbed a flashlight, and walked over to the house. Standing in front of the door, she hesitated. The neighborhood was eerily quiet, as if holding its breath. The door creaked open with a push. Inside, the house smelled of dust and time. Furniture covered in sheets stood like forgotten statues. But in the center of the living room, there was something unusual, a small box placed on an old table, with a folded note beside it. Salma picked up the note, her hands trembling slightly. It read, "To the one who brings light with their laughter, this house has been waiting for you." Her breath caught. How did the writer know about her? Who could have left this here? She opened the box cautiously. Inside, she found a small mirror and an old, rusty key. As she looked into the mirror, the room around her seemed to spin. The flickering lights made it feel like the house was alive, as though it was welcoming her. When the spinning stopped, Salma found herself in a brightly lit room that didn't belong to the house she had entered. The walls were adorned with pictures of people laughing, and in the center of the room sat a man. He was handsome, with a warm smile that somehow felt familiar. "Welcome, Salma," he said in a soothing voice. "Who are you?" "How do you know my name?" she asked, her voice trembling. He replied, "I'm a soul bound to this house. This place was once full of joy and laughter, but when its residents left, the happiness disappeared. I've been searching for someone who could bring life back to this place. Your laughter is exactly what this house needs." Despite her initial fear, Salma felt an unexplainable connection to the man and the house. From that night on, she began visiting the house daily. She would tell stories, laugh, and fill the empty rooms with her voice. Slowly, the house transformed. Its eerie silence was replaced by warmth and light. The neighbors noticed the change. The once dark windows of the house now glowed every evening. The haunting stories faded, replaced by a sense of wonder. But a question lingered in Salma's mind. Was she the one bringing life back to the house, or was the house helping her rediscover a part of herself she had forgotten?